dealing with a bit of a personnel problem when Clark goes down and then Colson goes down. And then obviously Cunningham goes down to the point where even without Clark, they didn't really have much of a capable backup, and then the backup goes down. By the way, shout out to Sydney Colson, who actually played well in this game, really banged up, taking it on the chin for the Fever. That's another thing that McDonald did well also, is put her body on the line. She doesn't have a guaranteed spot, so you got to give her respect for that.
The weight of past humiliation. The air still hung heavy with the sting of their last encounter. A wound fresh and festering in the Fever's collective memory. On May 28th, the Washington Mystics didn't just beat the Indiana Fever 83-77. They swaggered into CFG Bank Arena and treated Indiana like a rookie squad, a punching bag for their own amusement. It was more than
an unbelievable job of coming in yesterday and really knowing the plays. Kind of like we somebody said in the locker room, we feel like you knew the plays more than us, or she just kind of was on it, and I think it just goes to serve to show what pros are and how they're supposed to operate, and she did everything amazingly and with such grace. And I think for us, we could use what she brings us to the table offensively and defensively. She can guard the ball. She can get us all positioned to get shots, and I think more importantly, she's fun to play with. So I think we get a collective great guard all the way around.
A loss. It was a public shaming. The Mystics' attitude radiated an almost arrogant confidence, a palpable sense of superiority that seemed to scream, "We own you, Indiana." This wasn't the first time the Mystics had seemingly gone out of their way to assert dominance. Even in the preseason, they had made it their mission to bully Sophie Cunningham, physically pushing her around as if the Fever were beneath them, mere fodder for their entertainment. That behavior wasn't just unsportsmanlike, it was a spark, igniting a silent fuse within the Fever. The Mystics played as if they owned the court, and every aggressive action, every sneer, every cocky sideline glance reinforced the bitter truth.
Kelsey Mitchell breaking out of her slump a little bit, making some big plays down the stretch. Also something that Kelsey Mitchell did late in that game, she got hit by McDonald with a pass. She moved without the ball. And Kelsey's the kind of player you can give her the ball and let her cook, clear out, but also it's going to make her tough to guard when she is able to be active without the ball in her hands. So that was a good sign, I think, for the Fever's offense and some of that motion offense that Stephanie White is trying to instill.
Thought they had the Fever's number, and they weren't afraid to rub it in. This deep-seated disrespect became the fuel for what was to come. The obituary of a season, Clark's injury and the fallout. Then came the gut punch that seemingly sealed the Fever's unfortunate fate, turning a challenging season into what many perceived as an outright disaster. On May 26th, against the New York Liberty, the basketball world held its breath as Caitlin Clark went down with a left quad strain. The collective sigh of relief for Liberty fans was immediately overshadowed by a widespread, almost instant dismissal of the Fever. The basketball world, ever swift and merciless in its judgments, immediately penned the Fever's obituary. Analysts and commentators, almost in unison, declared the team done. 2 weeks minimum, they confidently stated, maybe longer. Without their superstar, everyone assumed Indiana was finished, their aspirations for the season crumbling before their eyes. What followed was a brutal, demoralizing losing streak that seemed to confirm every dire prediction. First, the Liberty capitalized on Clark's absence, delivering another defeat. Then, the Mystics, fresh off their prior bullying, embarrassed them again on May 28th. Finally, the Connecticut Sun piled on the misery on May 31st. 3 straight losses. 3 games filled with the same relentless, repetitive whispers. The Fever are nothing without Caitlin Clark. It was an absolute embarrassing performance. A team that looked utterly lost, confused, and completely outmatched every time they stepped onto the court, sinking deeper into a hole of despair and doubt. The stage is set. Underestimation as the ultimate catalyst. The Mystics, perhaps looking at their schedule and seeing June 3rd circled, must have envisioned it as another easy win. From their perspective, why wouldn't they? Indiana was visibly crumbling, their best players sidelined, watching from the bench in street clothes. The team had looked disoriented and ineffective in their previous matchups, a shadow of their former selves. Washington walked into that building expecting to feast on a wounded animal, another simple formality, a guaranteed notch in their win column. They had no idea.
Lexie Hull, who continues to shine. I mean, Lexie Hull has just been terrific this season. She is shooting the ball at an unbelievable clip. Talk about drawing fouls, talk about energy, talk about plus minus not being a deceiving stat. That is the case with Lexie Hull, who's plus 19 in this game, and it feels completely accurate, right? I mean, she's shooting 57% from three on the season going in, 52% from the field. I believe that's going in as well, but regardless, you get the point. Shooting the ball well.
They were walking into a meticulously planned ambush, a masterclass in revenge. This wasn't going to be a simple game. It was going to be a reckoning. The Mystics had utterly underestimated the resilience bubbling beneath the surface of the Fever. While the world saw a broken team, the Fever had spent those dark days after the losing streak, not breaking down.
Lexie Hull, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Lexie Hull, taking it off the dribble, taking it off the dribble, reverse layup. Lexie Hull, what got into you today, Lexie? What got into you in that third quarter? Holy smokes. Lexie Hull. Dude, Lexie Hull taking Sonia Citron off the dribble. Yeah, she's like that. Lexie Hull, reverse layup. Okay, Lexie, go on with your bad self. Go on with your bad self. The Indiana Fever. Kelsey Money Mitch, put them in a ditch. Lexie Hull taking over. Arie McDonald and her farm, giving me assists, giving me steals. 5 assists for Arie McDonald. Oh yeah, we're ready. We are ready. The Indiana Fever beat the Washington Mystics in the first game of the Commissioner's Cup, 85-76.
But building something new, something formidable. They were forging a renewed sense of purpose. A quiet determination that would make Washington regret every moment of their previous disrespect.
For both of you, just getting your first win after a 3-game losing streak, how did it feel?
I mean, I'm just proud of our group for staying with it. Obviously, we can't control injuries, we can't control any of that, but I think we had 2 really good practices this week, and to be able to come out and get a win after that, I'm just proud of us for fighting, and also just really proud of Arie for coming out and providing just some incredible minutes, 27 minutes, and she was ready. She stayed ready, and we needed every single one of those, and just really proud of the group today.
The stage was perfectly set for a dramatic, unforgettable comeback, engineered by a team that had nothing left to lose and everything to prove. Kelsey Mitchell's unseen burden and blazing ascent. With Caitlin Clark sidelined, an immense void opened up, and a familiar face courageously stepped into the leadership role, carrying the immense weight of an entire franchise on her shoulders. Kelsey Mitchell, the unwavering heart and soul of the Fever for almost a decade, understood the profound significance of this game. She had been there, on the court, when the Mystics had so brutally embarrassed them just days earlier. She had watched, simmering with quiet fury, as Washington treated her team like they were nobodies, inconsequential. The pressure on Mitchell was suffocating, almost unbearable. Everyone.
Indiana Fever lose to a young Washington Mystics team, 83-77. Look lost.
From fans to analysts, expected the Fever to simply fold without their superstar. But Mitchell had a different plan. She had to prove that Indiana was more than just one player, that they possessed an inner strength, a collective resilience that had teeth. Her mindset was clear. She wasn't thinking about individual stats or personal glory. She was consumed by the idea of carving out a spectacular revenge. The Mystics' defense was meticulously designed to stop her, knowing full well that without Clark, Mitchell would be the primary scoring threat. Yet, Mitchell adapted with grace and tenacity. She found ingenious ways to break through their schemes, relentlessly attacking the basket early, moving the ball around with purpose, and always finding open teammates when Washington double-teamed her. Her three-point shot became a silent, deadly assassin, hitting shot after shot from beyond the arc as the Mystics scrambled, visibly frustrated, to adjust their collapsing defense. But the real magic happened in the crucial fourth quarter. When Washington desperately tried to mount a comeback, Mitchell, with ice in her veins, sealed the deal by completing a critical three-point play that extended the Fever's lead, effectively extinguishing any flicker of hope for the Mystics. She proved definitively that the Fever had more than just one danger.
A big focus for us is .5 basketball. Get the ball, do something with it. Either drive, pass, shoot, and just trying to make those right reads and make them quick. And I think that helps just when our spacing's good, those reads are way easier. And I think that's really what it comes down to. I think our team just played really well together, and we got to spots and we made the extra pass. And I mean, we shot, I don't remember what they said, but a lot of our points were off of assists, and that's all we can really ask for a team. So just really, again, I'm just so happy with the outcome of the game and how everyone felt out there. It was fun.
Scorer. They had a leader who could deliver when it mattered most. Her teammate Arie McDonald later praised her, simply stating, "She did everything amazingly and with such grace." Mitchell wasn't just scoring points. She was directing an orchestra of revenge, orchestrating a remarkable 21 assists on 30 made field goals, a testament to her willingness to share the ball and trust her teammates, which utterly opened up the entire offense. She had single-handedly turned the Fever into a cohesive, dangerous unit that could beat anyone, even without their undisputed star. The unsung heroes, Lexie Hull's explosive second-half transformation. While Kelsey Mitchell deservedly grabbed the headlines, two other players, often overshadowed by the team's bigger names, delivered the knockout punch that left Washington utterly stunned. Lexie Hull and Arie McDonald transformed this game into something the Mystics never in their wildest dreams anticipated.
Let's not leave out Arie McDonald. 2 for 7, 1 for 5 from 3. Maybe not shoot threes, but Arie McDonald, 5 assists, 0 turnovers. Welcome to Indiana, Arie. Welcome to 3 steals. One of them was a steal and score. Folks, you know what they say, first impressions mean everything. And Arie McDonald, first impression, I'm calling up Ronald right now. I'm calling up Ronald McDonald right now. I need a Mick steals meal. I need a Mick assist meal. I need a Mick hustle meal. Arie McDonald, oh, it feels good having a point guard that can dribble and not turn it over and get flustered when they see pressure. Oh, it feels good. It feels good.
Let's talk about Hull first. Known primarily for her relentless hustle and defensive grit, Lexie was surprisingly offensively invisible in the first half, registering a perplexing 0 points. The Mystics likely believed they had her figured out, perhaps even dismissing her as a non-factor. She sat on the bench at halftime, fully aware that her team needed more, much more from her. But instead of succumbing to frustration, Hull remained poised, stayed ready, and patiently waited for her moment to strike. And then, the magic happened. Hull came out of the locker room, firing in the second half with an intensity that shocked everyone. She went an astonishing 5 of 6 from the field in the third quarter alone, transforming into an offensive force. All 14 of her points, along...
Give credit to the players. We won because of the players. We won because of Arie, because of Lexie, because of Kelsey, because of Dantis, because of AB. We won because of them. They played a solid game. This is how we should be beating teams, even without Caitlin Clark, folks. Even without Caitlin Clark. And hopefully, right here we go. Now that Arie McDonald is here, who would have thought we would be saying this early in the season? Hopefully, now that Arie McDonald is here, somebody to take pressure off Kelsey Mitchell. Is that what we needed, Kelsey? Is that all you needed? You just needed a point guard? Say no more. A point guard that can dribble and push it? Say no more.
Along with a crucial 6 rebounds and 4 assists, came after halftime. She didn't just score, she exploded, turning into the player the Fever desperately needed in those critical moments, showcasing a clutch gene that no one outside of the Fever's inner circle might have known she possessed. Her sudden offensive outburst utterly confounded the Mystics, who had no answer for her renewed aggression and pinpoint shooting. Hull's second-half surge was a testament to her resilience and unwavering belief in her ability to impact the game, proving that quiet hard work can often lead to the most spectacular eruptions. The unexpected game changer, Arie McDonald's instant impact. Then there was the true wild card, the unexpected revelation that proved to be a pivotal factor. Arie McDonald. The Fever had signed her on an emergency hardship contract just days before this very game, a move born out of desperation due to a severely depleted roster. Think about the sheer pressure. Caitlin Clark was hurt, Sophie Cunningham was hurt, and Sydney Colson was also sidelined. McDonald had to fly to Indianapolis, cram film study on the plane, and furiously learn plays with the coaching staff, all before being thrown into the fire of the season's biggest revenge game. The risk was enormous, almost unheard of. You simply don't put a brand new player, unfamiliar with the system, into a high-stakes game like this. Yet, McDonald delivered a performance that defied all expectations. Despite the monumental challenge, McDonald played an astounding 27 minutes, scoring 7 points with 5 assists. But her true impact, the element that truly disrupted Washington, came on the defensive end. In a stunning display of intensity, she drew an incredible 3 offensive fouls in her first 8 minutes, immediately becoming a defensive menace and disrupting everything Washington tried to do. We needed her out there. She was huge on defense, huge drawing offensive fouls, Lexie Hull later remarked, visibly proud. Kelsey Mitchell called her the ultimate pro for her ability to learn the plays so quickly and contribute on both ends of the court. The Mystics, still expecting the broken team for May 28th, had no answer for the twin threats of Hull's sudden scoring and McDonald's defensive chaos. Coach Stephanie White succinctly called McDonald's performance exactly what we needed, a quiet acknowledgement of the invaluable piece she instantly became. McDonald's ability to integrate so quickly and seamlessly proved that the Fever could add talent and make it work immediately, a crucial insight for the rest of their season. The true meaning of the win, a team identity forged in fire. This 85-76 victory against the Mystics was far more profound than simple revenge. It exposed a newfound identity for the Indiana Fever, an identity forged in the crucible of adversity. What if, for all the initial despair, losing Caitlin Clark for the short term was actually the best thing that could have happened to this team this year? This one spectacularly showed the Fever that they could, in fact, trust each other, that they didn't need to rely on one superstar to carry them. Every single player on that court learned they belonged in clutch moments, that they were capable of winning, even without their undisputed star. This newfound confidence and collective belief are invaluable. Coach Stephanie White's emphasis on the team's remarkable 21 assists on 30 made field goals wasn't just a statistic. It was the embodiment of a new philosophy.
Our ability to drive and get angles and be able to find and touch the paint with 2 feet and either, score and/or get these threes that you're talking about, it kind of just serves to everyone kind of getting a rhythm and everybody finding a way to kind of be impacted through the game. And I think the more that we do touch the paint, the more that we do get drives and play inside out through AB and Didi and them like that, I think it just kind of, you're going to see more open up for us. And so I just think we got to give ourselves some grace, but stay patient.
That's how we want to play. That's how we have to play in order for us to be successful, White stated after the game, highlighting the shift. The ball moved around the court with an almost magical fluidity. Players were making the extra pass, creating superior opportunities for everyone instead of forcing difficult shots. Kelsey Mitchell, during this challenging stretch, found her true leadership voice. She wasn't merely scoring 23 points. She was directing traffic on offense, making sure everyone stayed involved and orchestrating the flow of the game. Mitchell discovered she could be the consistent veteran presence this young team.
We did a good job of trying to kind of stay in it, because when people score on you, you don't know how to stop it at times. And I think that we just stayed really, really resilient, because it could have went the opposite way. We would have had another conversation, but I think we did a good job of staying grounded when they did make that run. And I believe that our team trusts one another in order to make and get stopped. So it's a collective effort.
So desperately needed, proving she belonged in that crucial role when the lights shone brightest. Lexie Hull, in her second half explosion, found something even more valuable, her clutch gene. All 14 of her points came when the game mattered most, solidifying her belief that she could take over quarters and fundamentally change the momentum of entire games. That confidence doesn't just disappear when Clark comes back. It's a permanent addition to her arsenal. And then there's Arie McDonald, who seamlessly solved their biggest problem this season, the desperate need for point guard depth. Her instant impact, 7 points and 5 assists in her debut, along with 3 steals that completely disrupted Washington's offense, proved that the Fever could add talent and integrate it immediately. Coach White explicitly called her defensive intensity exactly what the team needed. This unexpected depth and newfound teamwork are now integral to the Fever's core. The dangerous future, Clark's return to a stronger team. Now, picture what happens when you combine this newly forged team identity, this hard-earned confidence, and this burgeoning depth with Caitlin Clark's eventual, highly anticipated return. The Indiana Fever won't just be Caitlin Clark plus 4 others anymore. They will be a formidable, dangerous unit with multiple players who can inflict damage on any given night. Opponents won't be able to simply focus all their defensive efforts on stopping Clark alone, because now they'll have to contend with the inside presence of Aaliyah Boston, the veteran leadership and scoring prowess of Kelsey Mitchell, the explosive second-half potential of Lexie Hull, and the disruptive defensive tenacity of Arie McDonald, all complemented by a battle-tested bench that has learned to perform under pressure. This collective growth creates a foundation for something truly special in Indianapolis. The team that learned to win together, that discovered its true potential in the face of adversity, is about to get their superstar back. This combination of a highly skilled, record-breaking talent returning to a cohesive, resilient, and confident team creates a synergy that will be incredibly difficult for any opponent to dismantle. The Fever are not just hoping for success, they're building towards it, brick by painful, triumphant brick. This newfound depth means that if one player has an off night, others are now confident enough to step up and carry the load. They've learned to execute intricate offensive sets, move the ball with purpose, and trust each other defensively. This isn't just about individual talent. It's about a collective intelligence and grit that has been cultivated through adversity. The opponents will no longer be able to predict the Fever's attack. They will face a multifaceted threat, a team that can beat you in myriad ways, making them a truly dangerous contender for 2025 and beyond. Conclusion: a new era forged in revenge. This 85-76 victory fundamentally changed everything for the Indiana Fever's championship hopes. It wasn't just a win, it was a powerful statement. They proved conclusively that they're not merely Caitlin Clark plus 4 other players. They're a real team, a cohesive unit that can win when it matters most through collective effort and shared resilience. Mitchell definitively showed she can lead with grace and power. Hull proved she possesses a clutch gene capable of taking over entire games. McDonald demonstrated beyond a shadow of a doubt that she belongs in the rotation, bringing crucial depth and defensive intensity. The Fever play again this week without Clark, and every game will continue to teach them they can compete with anyone in the league, further solidifying their newfound identity. The Washington Mystics, in their arrogant overconfidence, learned a brutal, unforgettable lesson that night. Bullies don't always win. Sometimes, the team you picked on gets the most satisfying, the most brutal, and the most spectacular revenge imaginable. Show the team your support by commenting, "I've got the Fever" below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.